Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. It's Monday, so that means you have the word of the week. And the word of the week is listen. So like you're listening to somebody or they're listening to you or you're listening to music. However you want to put it, it's the same sign. So you have the letter L in your dominant hand. Go to your ear. Listen. Listen. And the reason why that word is the word of the week this week is because this video will not be a teaching video of me teaching you signs or new vocabulary. This video is only to promote the chances of people learning sign language or reasons why you should learn sign language, not just because you have a deaf person in your family or a hard of hearing person in your family, or if you are deaf or hard of hearing yourself. This is to show everybody can learn sign language and reasons why you should. So let's get started into the video.
So why should we learn sign language? I mean, it's not important, right? We're never going to reuse it in life. We're never going to go out there and say, oh, I met a deaf person, let's talk to them. Well, yeah, technically you can, because on many occasions I have met deaf people, and I have had a conversation with them, and they're really surprised. Wow, a hearing person knows my language. Again, ASL is not a language for the hearing. Well, technically it is, but it was established a long time ago by the Indians originally. For your ASL, it was founded in Massachusetts. However, again, it was started by Indians. But it was used by the deaf community for the deaf people, hard of hearing, until Alexander Graham Bell came along saying that speaking English was more important than signing. So that's when sign language actually went underground. Before then, hearing people, hard of hearing people, deaf people, we all knew sign language because that's how we all communicated besides English. And nowadays, deaf people are not really vocal. They don't want to speak because they don't know how to, or they took speech therapy and they don't really feel confident. And that's okay, because there are many times where people don't feel confident, but we should not judge them for that. Again, there's a video out there. It's Deaf Man versus Drive-Thru. They throw my food. They threw away my food. That's what it's called. Deaf Man versus Drive-Thru. They threw away my food. This is an instance where a guy and his girlfriend goes through a drive-thru, and the guy is deaf. He wants to order himself, which is understandable because when you get older, you want to be independent. You don't want to depend on others, or you don't want to depend on something that's like your phone or a notepad for deaf people. You actually want to communicate with the real world. And in this case, the guy that was taking his order was not very nice. I will want you to watch this video. I will post the link down below. It's a very good video, and he also explains what it will do for him if everybody knew a little bit of sign language. And again, the deaf community doesn't expect you to know every single word, like how do you spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious in sign language. Yeah, I don't think anybody's supposed to know how to spell that, but then again, there are those weird people out there. But why should hearing people learn sign language besides being communicated with the deaf community and the hard of hearing community? Well, if you're still in school like me, you're sitting in the classroom all day. And the most asked question is not something about history, math, or English, or whatever class you're in. Question is, can I use the restroom, or can I use the bathroom? Can I get water? Can I go to the library? Can I do this? Can I do that? But while you're doing instruction time and you're actually teaching, you don't feel like answering the student saying, yes, Billy Bob, you can go to the bathroom now, or yes, little Susie, you can go get water. Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to do that. So when I was in 5th grade, my teacher knew a little bit of sign language, and she taught us the sign refrigerator. That's the sign refrigerator. Except she used it as restroom because it was more simpler than saying restroom. So when she was talking and she was teaching, and one of us actually had to use the bathroom, she would tell us to raise our hand like you're hello, but instead you'd be shaking the R. And she would nod and say, hey, go use the bathroom. She wouldn't even say it, she just nods like you can go, or whatever. You wouldn't have to say, hey, Miss little Susie, can I use the bathroom? And the teacher would say, yes, you can. And then you'll say, okay, let's talk about math now. Yeah, you don't really want to break that thing because once you're talking about something, you actually want to go straight forward to it. So that's one thing. The less interruptions in the classroom, the more time students can learn. Quiet places, libraries, movies, places that mainly you're not allowed to speak. Like Barnes and Noble, you're allowed to speak, but most of the time it's quiet in there, so you know how to whisper. Like a library. In the library, you're not supposed to speak at all. You're supposed to whisper. Movies, you're not supposed to speak because that's rude, and you don't get that weird tap on the shoulder saying, "Hey, please be quiet. I'm trying to watch a movie." So if you knew sign language, you could just sign, like no noise. No noise. It's just your hands moving. Sign language is not an oral language, so it does not take sound. You can see it with your eyes, and it makes it a lot easier for anybody else. You don't have to interrupt people beside you or behind you in the movie theater. And loud places, that's another thing. Concerts, the mall, stores. If you're at Walmart and your teenager's all the way across the store and you don't feel like calling them, and you don't feel like screaming across the store and say, "Hey, let's go," or "Find the bananas," you can just say, sign it, and it makes sense. You wouldn't be making a loud interruption in the middle of the store. In concerts, yelling and screaming actually is proven worse for your voice. Eventually, you'll have a raspy voice, and eventually, you won't have a voice at all. That's very bad for your vocal cords. So, signing at a concert, you won't be yelling at the person that's right in front of you. You just sign, and it's a lot easier. Underwater, if you're at the pool, if you're a scuba diver, I don't know anybody who's a scuba diver, but I've known that scuba divers do use sign language underwater because a lot of them don't actually have the cool speaker things we see in movies. They just sign, they know what they're talking about. It's like, "Hey, there's a shark beside you." Yeah. Or you're in the pool and it's like, "Let's go that way," or "Let's swim that way." You can do that without actually getting your head out of the water or whatever. It's just something cool. And then you have windows. Say you have a construction man that's working outside on your roof, and he wants to come inside and tell you something because it's very important. Well, you don't feel like getting all his dirty shoes on your floor that you just cleaned. I wouldn't want that either. But I don't want to go outside because I'm in my pajamas. So what do? Well, you can speak through the window and say whatever you have to say because it's simple conversation, right? Yeah. And you have while your mouth full. I don't know why somebody would want to talk with their mouth full, but people still do. So you have a mouthful of food all in your cheeks, and you're just spitting out food while you talk. It's rude, that's nasty, and disgusting. Nasty, disgusting, same thing. Anyways, that's not very manner-like, that's rude, don't do that. But if you know a little bit of sign language, it's like, what do you want to do next, or where you want to go now, or whatever you're talking about, you can do it in sign language while your mouth is full. And you can go switch back and forth. It's really easy. So, one more thing. Now that it's in this point in time, I don't know if COVID-19 is still in its high stage. I think it's like dying down because of everything that's happening. But there was a stage where everybody was wearing a mask. And deaf people rely on reading lips a lot of times. I know that there's a few people who don't know sign language. They have not been exposed to ASL, so they rely on reading your lips. But you are wearing a mask. I don't think you can read my lips. Yes, you can hear me, but no, you cannot read my lips because my hand's over it. Same thing with the mask. You cannot read my lips because there is no lips to be shown. It's by a mask. And it'd be weird if we had a clear covered mask because that's just, I don't know, that's weird. Anyway, that'd be a great way to communicate with the deaf community again. You can sign instead of actually taking your mask off if you're one of those people. Or because if you're hearing and you rely on hearing somebody because you can't read their lips, but you can't hear them either because it's kind of like this, muffled. Yeah, it's muffled because of the cloth in there and the mask and whatnot. I was at a restaurant and our waitress was like that. There was nothing wrong. She spoke perfect English. It's just the mask was in the way and we could not hear. So again, sign language comes in handy. So you're like, can you repeat that? Like, I didn't hear you. Can you repeat that? Yeah. So it just comes in handy when it comes to small, simple situations. Sign language is a language that we all should learn a little bit from the beginning to start. Just learning numbers, or how are you, or what's your name, or how can I help you, and just the small things that goes by life. And you never know. Maybe one day when aliens come, we can talk to them, and they know sign language. Okay. Well, maybe. Sign language is a cool language, and there are many possibilities out there. You get to be a part of a community that's not like hearing. Like, go to a concert and you sign with a friend, nobody knows what you're talking about. Or you're in the library and you're talking about some person you see, they're not going to know. They don't know what you're talking about. Like a nail salon, you know, the Asian people, they talk behind your back. It's like, oh, I feel like they're talking about me. Well, most likely they probably are. But if you know sign language, you can talk bad about them like back. My mom works at a nail salon. However, that is not the case. Lovely Nails is on East Stock Road in Spartanburg. I will put their business down below too. You can call and make an appointment. This is a nail salon that speaks completely English to you. They will make jokes with you. They speak English and it's on your level. They don't talk bad about you in front of you in a different language. It's an all-friendly place. They've won Best of the Best 3 times in a row for Spartanburg, and it's a great place. Not just because my mom works there, it's just because the friendly atmosphere. You feel very welcomed. So, again, there's many reasons why to learn sign language out there, whether it be talking behind somebody's back, even though it's rude, talking in the movie theater so you don't have to get that weird tap on the shoulder saying, hey, please be quiet. You can do it in the library. Do it at concerts so you don't have to ruin your voice. Do it at restaurants while your mouth is full so you don't spit on people because that's disgusting. Don't do that, please. And underwater, windows, and if aliens come. That's kind of cool. So that's it for today. Those are all the reasons why, well, those are most of the reasons why you should learn sign language. They're pretty cool. I hope this encourages you to keep learning sign language, and if you have a kid who wants to learn sign language and they want to be encouraged, make sure they see this video. If you have anybody else who wants to learn sign language, make sure they see this video. Make sure you share this all over the world. Again, more subscribers means more places we can go outside of this room. And I'll eventually be out of this room to go record sometime, I promise. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button. And if you haven't already, hit that bell up top for notifications for every time I make a video. So I will see you Monday and have a good weekend.